Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to the latest episode of the We Can't Wrestle podcast. The brothers Maxon here with you. I'm Nate. That's Aaron.
Hello, everybody.
And I'm what they would call a snot-nosed punk this week. So if anybody hears me sniffle or anything, I try not to do that. Try to mute my microphone when I have the runny nose and crap going on from this cold I just got over. So anyway, I apologize for that. This week we are continuing our new series, because this is the only second episode of it, for Saturday night's main event. And this week we will be going back to October the 5th, 1985. And I was thinking, I don't know why, but when the Saturday night's main event first got on the network, I don't know what made me remember this. That first Saturday night's main event was not on the WWE network. It's on Peacock now. But I remember when the network started, this was the first one that was on there. So it was like this was the first Saturday night's main event, but obviously it wasn't. But yeah, October 5th, 85. So before we get into that, anything you want to discuss, Aaron?
Not really. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on, so
nope, haven't had anyone pass away this week or anything. No big news out there in the world of professional wrestling that I can think of. So yeah, we'll just dive into this show. Fun Saturday night's main event. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on in this 1 hour show.
yes.
Which I think probably was 90. I think they were 90 minutes. With
pretty
commercials
much.
And stuff, just like Saturday Night Live.
Just the
if I can remember back to just trying to remember back to when I was a kid.
Yeah, and a lot of people remember this one just because it's like the first one was what it was, but this is like the first one that was like, sports entertainment.
A fun thing though, I will say, speaking of Saturday Night Live, I'll make my recommendation for this week. If you haven't watched it, I would definitely recommend, speaking of Peacock, if you get a chance and you're a fan of Saturday Night Live and you're a fan of Lorne Michaels, go watch the documentary Lorne. It's actually a very well done documentary about Lorne Michaels.
Yeah.
And I don't like to do a lot of repeating of things or spoilers of things, but one of the stories that's on there is very, very kind of very funny that Mulaney tells. And he tells a story about how him and Lorne were at dinner somewhere. And this lady comes up to Lorne, a grown woman, but she's got like one of those notebooks that's like a fuzzy notebook that like a schoolgirl would have.
Yeah.
And she hands it to Lorne and she says, "My husband has been writing, and I'd like to give you these sketches he's been writing so you can consider them for Saturday Night Live." And Lorne took the notebook and he said, "I understand. Thank you." And the lady walked away. And John Mulaney said, I asked him, I said, you just took that notebook. If people hand you things in public like that, do you take them? And Lorne's like, every time. And I just say, I understand. And he's like, why? And then he said he went on to tell him that the reason whoever the producer was, the reason that Charles Manson sent his cult and Sharon Tate wound up getting killed was because this producer that lived at the house spurned Charles Manson for one of his scripts. So Lorne was like, so I just accept anything anybody gives me. And I just say, I understand. And all the comedians, the other writers that are around the table with Mulaney are all laughing, and they're like, "Oh my god, absolutely, yeah! I didn't even think about that." But that was funny. But yeah, go check that out. It's a cool documentary about Lorne Michaels. There's not a lot known about the man, so it's also very interesting to get a little bit of not only his perspective on himself, which you don't hear a lot of, but the perspective of people that have worked closely with him over the years. So anyway,
yeah, I've always said like it's with Lauren, there's a lot of similarities to him and Vince.
Mm-hmm.
Like not every, I don't want to say it, like, even comedians that say, I never wanted to be on SNL, they're lying to you. Like, they had the opportunity, they would have done it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and the guys that say, I didn't want to do it, there's the guys that didn't get the opportunity to do it. And it wasn't always the best show, but it was the biggest thing in it. You know, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, some of the other skit shows were actually funnier than SNL, but none of them were as crisp and professional. And there's a reason that it lasted or has lasted as long as it has, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. And also much like Vince, he's kind of it's funny because he's
Aloof.
he's very talented and aloof, and how do I put this? Likes to be famous, but doesn't want to be famous. You know, like
Yeah.
he likes to be famous, but he also is very, very private. And you know,
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, you're right. There are many similarities from them as far as a quote unquote promoter. I guess you know you call Lauren a promoter.
Yeah.
He
Just
has
the
his.
weird shit they do. And
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I definitely think it's about an hour 45 minutes, but it's definitely worth watching if you're a fan. I definitely suggest it. And the other cool thing is it's one of those things that when you watch it on Peacock, they go, "Here, watch." And I don't know, I don't do ad-free streaming cuz I'm not paying extra for not having commercials, but
yeah.
it's one of the ones where they go, "Here, watch 3 minutes of commercials and then you can watch your movie uninterrupted." And I'm always like, "Fucking thank you." I will go fucking shit, whatever I have to do. Play your 3 minutes of commercials so I can watch this shit without commercials.
Yeah. I used to worry about the commercials thing. And then, like, what made me not do it anymore was Netflix. Like, I'm not spending like $45 for Netflix. But I also want to be able to watch like a WWF pay per view or WWE pay per view if I want to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like I was like, fuck it, I'll just do the commercial thing. It's $8.99, and like some of the commercials are like 35 seconds. I'm like, what
Yeah.
have I been fucking worrying about? Okay.
Yeah. Well, and that's like I probably streaming service wise, the one I probably honestly use the most is HBO Max,
Yeah.
and their their commercial breaks are never very long either. And a lot of the shows that I watch, like the Game of Thrones, like the newest Game of Thrones season that's out, House of the Dragon or whatever. Usually when the shows are new like that and I'm watching them, they do the whole here's all your commercials once and then you can watch the show uninterrupted anyway.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. It's bullshit that we're paying for streaming and still getting commercials, but it is what it is now. I've accepted
Yeah.
it.
I use Peacock and Hulu the most, and Peacock I don't even pay for because they get it through work. And then
Actually, you know what?
Hulu.
I think I get Peacock. I think I get Peacock through having Walmart Plus.
You can
Yeah, so
get it.
I
You
think
can
I think I
you can
think
get
that's what
what
I get.
you can do Peacock or you can do Paramount Plus. And then if you want to switch, like you can, like you can't do both of them at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
but you can do one for 6 months, and then if you want to switch over, do the other one for 6 months.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
And
what my Peacock, because I had dropped Peacock once the
yeah,
WWE shit went off of it because I didn't really watch it that much, and then we found out we could get it with our Walmart Plus, so I just resubscribed to it.
there's just things on there I like to watch. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I don't have anything else to watch, like I'll uh like like I texted you the other day, like Justified's my favorite show. That's on Hulu.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but like one of my top 10 favorite shows of all time is Psych. I love that
Mm-hmm.
fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
I love that universe. All the movies crack me up. Like I can watch it like every year or so, just laugh my fucking ass off. And that's on there. Modern Family's on there. You know,
Parks
there's a
and
lot of
Rec.
shit on there.
Parks and
Parks
Rec
and
is on
Rec.
there.
There's a lot of shit on there, and I don't have to pay for Walmart Plus because I get that for free through work.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it, why wouldn't I have it? You know?
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I got us off track there.
That's all right.
We'll go back in time to 1985. Saturday night's main event. this one took place. Was it Meadowlands? I think it was in the
I forgot to write it
Meadowlands.
down. It was
I
either
did
that or the
too.
Nassau.
I think it was. Yeah, it was. You're right. It was either Nassau Coliseum or Meadowlands Arena. The show starts off Mean Gene Okerlund standing by with Classy Freddie Blassie and Nikolai Volkov, because Volkov is going to be facing Hulk Hogan for the title tonight on Saturday night's main event. Lots of Hulk Hogan on this Saturday night's main event.
There is, and you know me and Fred Blassie, it's one of my favorite people of all time, and I love everything he's done, like everything,
Yeah.
And I know he was like with Sheik and all these other guys, but for some reason, the pairing of Freddie Blassie with Nikolai Volkov is like my favorite. I don't know why, but it is.
Yeah. He's well, and Blassie, Blassie was the manager of the Foreign Menaces, so it makes total sense that they're together.
But just out of all of them, that's just those two together are like my favorite. I think it's because like they're polar opposites.
Yeah.
Like here's this bland, and when I say bland, Nikolai wasn't bland, but he was supposed to be bland.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Playing
like,
bland.
He played bland better than like anybody else ever, in my opinion, and had a great sense of humor because like you could like the guy was fucking funny. You know what I mean? But here's Nikolai Volkov, the poor Soviet man with one brown suit, and he just somehow wound up with this Hollywood fashion plate. It's like the most boisterous, out of control fucking dude. Yeah, it's just great in my opinion. Like him and Sheik together makes sense. They're both fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like him and Nikolai, I don't know.
And of course, Volkov and Blassie, their aim tonight is for Volkov to become the World Wrestling Federation champion. Then our champion Hulk Hogan cuts a promo, and my notes on Hogan's promo are essentially, man, the Russian flag really pisses him off.
Oh yeah,
you're not gonna read that Russian flag in here, brother.
Yeah.
But the winner of the match is going to get to fly their flag because it is a flag match for the championship.
Yes, it is.
Now, we also get Mean Gene Okerlund speaking with Hillbilly Jim and Uncle Elmer on Uncle Elmer's pending nuptials tonight on Saturday night's main event.
I'm on a mission of love.
Mission of love.
That's always cracked me up. Even when I was a little kid, Gene Okerlund be like, "What do you got to say, Uncle Elmer? I'm on a mission of love."
Yeah, the fucking hillbillies. Vince loved the hillbillies.
He was horrible, and I love the fact that he's like, "I'm on a mission of love," and they're like on a set or whatever, and Piper shows up and just gives them the fucking business, and then just leaves. Like there's no physical interaction or anything. Like he just gives them the fucking business and bounces. It's great.
That was something that I wrote down throughout this show that I thought it was humorous, that for no reason whatsoever. I mean, I know the reason because they've had interactions with them in the past and matches with them in the past and stuff, but I just think it's funny that Jesse Ventura and Roddy Piper are just so fucking pissed that this wedding is taking place. Like they're just mad about it.
I know, but my favorite part is like Piper keeps showing up and being like, "This is stupid. I don't know why this is happening. I don't know what's up with you stupid hillbillies." And they just like stare at him, and then he fucking leaves like every time. Like they don't attack him. They don't like cut a promo back at him or anything. He just berates them, tells them how stupid this is, and then just fucking leaves. I don't know. I don't know why it's so fucking funny to me, but
the next the next moment here actually is it goes back to your pairing of Blassie and Volkov, because I wrote down something that popped me here. We get because Volkov's in the ring, he's awaiting Hulk Hogan. He's going to sing, of course. Please, Nikolai Volkov requests that you please rise for his singing of the Soviet national anthem. Get some fucking heat going, right? And while Volkov is singing the anthem, I love the little touch of Blassie mouthing it with him, but mouthing it completely wrong.
Yeah, he has no idea what the
He has
fuck
no idea what the fuck. And it's fucking hilarious. It is hilarious. Like he's just like whatever. Like he's got the rhythm down.
Yeah.
But he's not know the fucking it's so great.
Do you know how that happened? Him singing it?
I don't think so. Unless if he talked about it in his book, I don't remember it.
Blassie talks about it in his book.
Okay.
It was a tape. Like they would play the Russian national anthem.
Mm-hmm.
And Volkov isn't really Russian. Well,
Right.
I mean, he doesn't like he didn't like communism.
That's why he did the gimmick
and
so well.
and that's what Blassie told. Like they gave him the gimmick out of like the Mongols or whatever, and he was like, "I hate communism. I don't want to do it." And Blassie was like, "You know what, man? That's why you do it. Just stick it up their ass, make them look like the biggest pieces of shit there." Like Blassie helped Volkov like figure out what that shit was supposed to be and stuff, But they used to they said they used to just play it. Like they'd play the tape or whatever. And the tape got fucked up. So it was like, oh my God, my gimmick, like we're not gonna be able to do the gimmick. And Volkov knew the words and it was like, why don't you just sing it? And he sung it and it was like, oh, that was even better. Because you can't sing,
Yeah.
So and it pissed the people off even more. So yeah, that's why they did it.
Well, it's good shit, pal.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
I
go
was
ahead.
gonna say the only other like note that's not about the match per se that I have is and it's kind of funny that we were just talking before we started about how WWF like at this time wasn't like the polished show. You know what I mean? Like, and I understand like why they went with the red and yellow because it popped on TV and it looked good and all that shit. And it got to the like when they got to like WrestleMania 3, they wanted guys to have like a look because they're gonna start making toys, and even by 2 they started doing that. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense.
Yeah.
But and I get it, and I know the red and yellow is iconic, and when I was a kid I loved it, but and he didn't wear it here. I think he just wore if I remember right, he just wore the white on white. But the blue and white Hulk Hogan I thought was always like the coolest. I
It's
thought.
and it also it stands out because it's different. I think I think they made a figure. I don't know if I
They
have
did.
it or not. I don't know if I have it or not, but yeah, no, you're right. It's a cool look for him. And it is fun to see back before they settled on the red and yellow because they played around with it and stuff. But you watch a lot of like prime times or whatever from 85, 86, and even early 87. He'll have blue on. He might have white on.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
but he'd have his red and yellow bandana,
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's fun watching the old stuff before it became. And I'm not knocking.
And then he brought that palette back for Rip.
Yeah,
Those were Rip's
and
colors.
and like I said, I'm not knocking the older like the stuff. Once they figured out, like, okay, we want to make dolls and everybody should look the same, so we can market this because, like, you put a red and white, like you put a blue and white toy out, he might not be blue and white by the time that you know what I mean? Like the guy's got to look,
yeah,
like what they're gonna buy in the store. So I understand that and everything, but and even on that, it's fun watching Hogan pre WrestleMania 3 because I'm not saying he was like, the Hogan in Japan or anything, but he wasn't doing his like.
It wasn't cookie cutter.
It wasn't his cookie cutter. Boom, 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 boom. This is what I do. Do this, do this, do this, and get out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Even the promos were.
Yeah.
He's more. I guess what I would say is probably about WrestleMania 3-ish. He's more human You know, I don't know. He just comes like this like when the stuff he did on TNT when he'd be in like the talk show segment with Vince and stuff. He was, you know, he wasn't so like by the time you roll after WrestleMania 3 going into WrestleMania 4 and everybody's all roided up and shit, and he's just like, brother. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is. It's very
Like in this thing. I know you joked about it, but like he's talking about like, oh, the Russian flag makes me mad or whatever. But he wasn't like the red, white, blue pumps through my veins, but like he was just like that flag. I don't like that shit, dude. Like he didn't say shit, but he was like, I don't like that, dude. That ain't flying where I'm at, man. I'm gonna take that risk. I'm gonna beat his ass. Like you know what I mean? Like, and how often, post WrestleMania 3, like, did you see like Hogan go outside of the ring and choke somebody with his tape or bite somebody? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, this was a good old 5-minute Hulk Hogan Nikolai Volkov match. There was nothing wrong with this match. It did everything it was supposed to do. I don't have a lot of notes on it, obviously, but it was just a fun Hogan Volkov match to watch. Of course, Hogan wins.
One note
go ahead.
Good. One note I do have is at one point, Volkov gets knocked on his ass. Okay, and he's getting it handed to him, and he's down. And I don't know why it cracked me up so much. But Blasty's outside of the ring, and he's got the Russian flag, you know. And Volkov got knocked down. He's on his ass, and instead of like yelling at him like, you know, words of encouragement, Blassie just starts poking him with the flagpole from outside the ring. Like he's poking him in the ass and in the side. It's like, get the fuck up. I just thought that shit it cracked me up for some reason. But I'm like, all right, yeah. He's not like, come on, buddy, you can do this. He's just beating him with his own flagpole. Just cracked me up. But anyway.
Yeah, Hogan wins this one with this leg drop, of course. And then he gets to take that Russian flag that he hates, that really pisses him off, and shine his boots with it.
And then he spits on it. The crowd goes wild.
Then he humps it like Shawn Michaels humped the Canadian. No, he didn't.
Oh, he did.
I just pictured Hogan. Anyway.
That's one of my favorite things Bret Hart ever said, and it legitimately made Shawn. Because, you know, like sometimes you can tell Shawn's kind of, even though he's like a good guy now, you can tell he's sometimes kind of fake. Bret Hart legitimately made him laugh when they did that sit down DVD they did together.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in a long time, but yeah.
Oh, but yeah, they did that sit down DVD together, and Shawn talks about how he humped the flag, the Canadian flag at Survivor Series or whatever. Bret's like, they were mad that you screwed me, but that's really what pissed them off. Like, that's why they hate you, because you humped that flag. That's it. And Shawn's just like,
that's the deal breaker. Yeah,
that's what did it.
After the match, we get another interview with Hulk Hogan. He's proud about his win, and he's looking forward to the wedding.
Yes.
I think this is the third Hogan promo we've seen on this show so far.
Yes.
They show Joyce, the bride, backstage.
Yes.
And then Mean Gene with the Hillbillies, and Cousin Junior is there with Uncle Elmer and Hillbilly Jim. I think Cousin Junior went on to be a Moondog. I think he was like Moondog Cujo or something. I don't know much about that dude, but
yeah,
Elmer ain't worried. He ain't worried.
Yeah, he ain't worried about that.
I ain't worried about it.
I don't think Junior's long for the world.
No, he wasn't there too long. No, yeah. He was essentially there. They did like 6-mans with these three versus like I think Piper, Ventura, and Orton or something for a little bit. So they wanted to do the 6-man thing because they wanted to get Jesse involved in it.
Well, they still did the 6-man thing, but I'm saying Junior isn't. They ended up replacing him with Cousin Luke.
Oh shit! I forgot about Cousin Luke.
Yeah. But yeah, Cousin Junior's dead. I was like, he was a Moondog, from what I remember. But
Yeah, I knew he was a Moondog, but I couldn't remember which Moondog he was.
the thing, it doesn't matter. But the thing I was like trying to figure out most about the Hillbillies is, I know like the hat that Hillbilly Jim wears just looks like a floppy hat. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I understand that hat. I don't know what you even call that hat that like Junior and Elmer are wearing. Like, what kind of hat is that?
Well, I've always thought,
like,
yeah. Well, I've always thought
I've known hillbillies in my life. Okay, like I was raised around hillbillies.
It's like
I've seen many, many hillbillies, but I've never seen anybody except those two hillbillies wear those hats. It's like a triangular hat with keepsakes on it. Like, what are you wearing?
It's like I don't know what to call it. Like it's like they turn like corn husk into like a party hat kind of thing.
I don't know what it is. It's just a triangular hat with no brim with keepsakes. I've never seen anybody wear a hat like that. So if somebody knows, please let us know. But never seen a hat like it.
Vince McMahon's like, Howard Finkel's two best creations: naming WrestleMania and Uncle Elmer's hat.
Yes. And Junior had one too. I've just never.
I think it's funny Howard
seen
Finkel
hats
came
like
up
it.
with it.
Yeah, I've never seen hats like that.
What if they have like a hillbilly party hat with
keepsakes?
Knickknacks.
I like keepsakes. I don't know why keepsakes crack me up. It's like a charm bracelet, but it's a hat. It's like, okay.
It'll be even better because it's small on Elmer's big fucking head.
Yeah. Say, I don't know what the fuck those hats were. No idea.
Well, the legend of the legendary Valiant brothers is just shit down the toilet here. So Uncle Elmer defeats Gentleman Jerry Valiant in 12 seconds, but they say it's 6.
Yes.
Because this is a WWF in the 80s and the facts don't fucking matter.
It doesn't. And I looked up Jerry Valiant, and because I was like, man, why was he even there? You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck was he there? He, unless what I read was lying, he would be used like around here because of his ring. Like they didn't have to transport. Like he had the ring, so he'd bring the ring. So they'd book Gentleman Jerry Valiant.
Put him on the show.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, they're given like Uncle Elmer gets a one night fucking super push on this show.
Yes.
He's all over the show with promos. He gets to quote unquote break King Kong Bundy's shortest match record of all time. Even though he didn't, because like I said, the match was 12 seconds, but they said it was 6 seconds.
I honestly think they did it just for an excuse to show Bundy's clip on broadcast
on the
television. Show. Yeah.
Could be.
Because we're gearing up, probably we're in 85, so October 85, right?
Yeah.
So WrestleMania is going to be in March?
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, I mean, I think April 1st of it in '86. So yeah, I mean, same.
So wrestling in this time, like now WrestleMania, they'll book a fucking match for WrestleMania the week before WrestleMania, but at this time, you know what I mean? So they wanted to get Bundy, and I think that's honestly why they did it, in my opinion. And possibly with the thought of having, and they might have did it, and we just don't see it. They might have even thought, hey, we'll have Uncle Elmer versus Bundy, these two big fat bucks with the two quickest matches.
Well, I think we are going to have here shortly on a Saturday night's main event the one where they have the weigh-in with his big bucket of Vitlins or whatever, or big bucket of chitlins or whatever. Big bucket of pig parts.
Ew.
Is what it is. That's what. Yeah, we're there's a Saturday night's main event where these two have Bundy and Elmer have a match, and they have like a weigh-in, and he's got the big bucket of pig parts. But we'll get to that when we get to that. The next thing on this thing I put down for this body shop with Bobby Heenan, for a man that dresses but for a man that dresses wild, Jesse is dressed really fucking wild for this thing.
That's what I put. I was like, it's the body shop with Jesse Ventura, guest Bobby Heenan. Ventura is wearing the most ridiculous outfit ever.
All right, I'm glad we both noticed.
It's like, what the fuck is going on? That thing was crazy.
Yep, I do. Literally, it's like, man, for a guy that dresses wild, Jesse's dressed real wild here.
Yeah. Like, it probably took Bobby Heenan everything he had not to say something.
But yeah, the like you said, it's janky. They just like threw some barbells and a couple of benches in the ring.
Yeah. It would have been better if they didn't.
Yeah, it's like Piper's Pit. This ain't.
Yeah, like I said, it would have been a lot better if they just didn't do.
Yeah,
just have him interview.
It turns out the guys that host the interview segments, they spring for their own sets, and Ventura's cheap.
Yeah, it's like I
just brought some of my I brought some of my shit from home.
It's like I put everything I had in this outfit.
I don't have money for the motif, because that sounds like a word that Jesse Ventura would use. Motif, and he would say it like that. Motif.
I tell you, man, I know he's crazy and everything, and I know people talk about how funny Bobby was, and he was, okay? But Jess has to be like a close second or third. That dude was so fucking funny, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different kind of funny, but yeah, absolutely. Like
I don't know if it's just his delivery.
No, yeah, it's
absolutely so dry with it.
He's asshole funny. Yeah, absolutely.
And like Bobby would do it where he was going for the joke. You know what I mean? Like, but Jesse would just say some shit. Like, it wasn't like a setup.
Mm-mm.
It was just he'd say some shit.
He'd just be mean.
Yeah, it was good.
But on his, like you said, it was on his janky body shop with Bobby Heenan.
Yes,
they're talking about the fact that Heenan has put a $50,000 bounty on Paul Orndorff, which Roddy Piper aims to collect tonight.
And they talk about how, basically, with Bobby Heenan, it could be counterfeit money. Like, how do we even know this money's real? Yeah. And I didn't want to talk over you, but Gene interviews Paul Orndorff about his upcoming match, and Gene even brings it up to Roddy Piper, because then he interviews Roddy Piper, and he's like, I gotta ask you, Roddy, and I liked it was a good touch. Like, he was like, I gotta ask you, Roddy, say this happens tonight and you beat Paul Orndorff, how do you expect with Bobby Heenan it could be counterfeit money, and also like how can you even trust Bobby Heenan to pay you the money? And Roddy Piper's like, I'm gonna beat Paul Orndorff up, I'm gonna take him out, and if Bobby doesn't pay me the money, I'll beat him up too. Like, he's like, I don't care, I will kick his ass if he doesn't give me the money.
And then he also says, and by the way, I don't want this wedding to happen tonight.
Yeah, I don't like this wedding. It's
because he said, and Gene Okerlund asks him kind of like, what's your big problem with this? He's like, because if these two get married 12 years from now, we'll have 5 Elmers.
It's 5 Elmers.
But I wrote something down while I was watching Roddy smiling. You know, you talk about people's prime or whatever. Tell me if I'm wrong, but to me, Roddy Piper from Mid-Atlantic in '83 until he turns face to head to WrestleMania 3, to me that's his peak. I'm not saying that he was ever
Oh.
bad. I'm not saying that he was ever bad, but this was those 3.5 years are when he was his best.
Definitely. And even like even when he did feud with Adonis and
No,
was
no,
a
I'm not saying
babyface
that
in the
wasn't
match.
entertaining. I'm not
Well,
saying
I'm
that wasn't
saying like
entertaining.
that
I
was
just
great because he was still Roddy Piper. You know what I mean? Like he didn't change anything. The only thing that changed about Piper at that time was who he was fighting. You know what I mean? Like he was
right.
still Roddy Piper. Like like him telling like Adonis, I'm gonna beat the pants back on you. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
shit like but um uh and there were I don't want to say he was never bad. There's point because you know how big of a Roddy Piper fan I am.
Yeah.
But there are points of Piper where you're like, this isn't
And it's more in the
Roddy Piper.
I would say it's more in the like if I'm going to say that, I always say after 96 when he comes to WCW, you never know what Piper you're going to get.
Yeah.
Like if that makes sense. Like he might show up on Monday Night Raw and be super entertaining, and then he might show up on Monday Night Raw like wearing a George Jefferson cap and
talking
saying nonsensical shit that just isn't even entertaining. But yeah. But no, like I mean, like I said, 83 to 80, and then I enjoy the 89 through 92 stuff in the WWF as well. But that from his Mid Atlantic in 82, 83 until he quote unquote retires, and at WrestleMania 3 is definitely his peak for me.
Yeah, asshole Roddy Piper is the best Roddy Piper.
Oh yeah, and especially
asshole Roddy Piper might be I shouldn't say what like he might in my opinion,
chubby faced asshole Roddy Piper
is in like the top like 3 heels of all time. Like he'd just treat everybody like shit. The only people he didn't treat like shit or make fun of were Bob and Paul when Paul was with him. You know what I mean? But other than that, he'd fucking talk shit about everybody. He didn't give a fuck.
He was one of those guys that didn't give a shit what Vince thought either. Go ahead and fire me. I don't care.
Make fun of him. He'd make fun of him to his face. You know?
He's like Jesse. I don't fucking care. Fire me. I don't give a shit. Who's got the biggest balls here, buddy?
Yeah, you need me more than I need you.
Well, the match itself is not much of a match. It's Piper and Orndorff. Of course, they have heat, and then you add into it the story about the bounty, and
Vince
they pretty
messes up.
No, I didn't catch that.
And it actually got left in because they had been saying that Bobby had possible counterfeit money. Okay, like Vince kept saying he has counterfeit money. Well, at the beginning of the match, Bobby comes out with his briefcase, and Vince McMahon says, before they go to commercial break, he goes, "Here comes Bobby Heenan. Here comes Bobby Heenan with that what I know to be Confederate money." And then it just goes to Confederate money. What? But anyway, but yeah, like you said, it's not much of a match, and it shouldn't be for what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? So yeah, they end up. It starts out hot and heavy.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
This match has one of the best payoffs at the end ever. It's one of the greatest fucking things I've ever seen in my life. Go ahead with what you were.
I was gonna say that it was a big Pier 6 brawl, right? And that's what they did. They just kicked the shit out of each other, and they brawled to the locker room area. They even wrestled like underneath the announce stage or whatever. It was a cool visual.
And the end of it's great though. It's one of my favorite heel things ever because Piper just goes to his dressing room and locks the fucking door.
Yeah, he's like, nope. I don't need that bounty.
I laughed my fucking ass off at that. Like, dude just locked the door. Like, I'm done.
Yeah. I don't need the bounty. I don't want anything to do with you. I'm good.
Oh man, that shit fucking cracked me up.
But obviously it ends on a double disqualification. because Roddy Piper, no yob, brother. Like Roddy Piper does not job out, so he wouldn't obviously lose. But they didn't want him to pin Paul because Paul's supposed to be getting over strong because he's gonna end up turning on Hogan, obviously. So that's what they did with this. And then we're gonna move into one of the most. Oh God, sorry.
I was about to say our main event, and one of the most the main event of the show, and one of the most surreal things ever.
Yes, and for the longest time, like one of the most like they'd put anything that was like a silly tape or
WWF's
sports
funniest
entertainment
moments,
tape
WWF's wildest moments. Yeah,
I've seen this Hillbilly Wedding so many fucking times.
Okay, so some notes at the beginning. Mean Gene's playing the organ. I'm pretty sure earlier on they made organ, like penis organ jokes that, they like to do that shit.
My first note was nobody at this wedding is still alive. I don't want to be depressing, but
isn't Hillbilly Jim's not dead?
Oh yeah, Hillbilly Jim's still alive. Hillbilly Jim, he's the only one still alive.
He might still work for WWE.
Hillbilly Jim's still alive. Okay. Sorry.
Of course, Hogan.
Andre's there in his trunks.
Hogan's there in, leather pants and a tuxedo shirt with no sleeves. But Hogan's got to be there because, like I said, he is all over this fucking show. Andre and Hogan let Joyce into the ring.
Yeah, Captain Lou's there for no reason.
No, Captain Lou's there for every reason. He's Captain Lou.
It's a party. Captain Lou's gonna be. I guess
that's right, buddy.
Yeah. He's like wedding equals reception. Reception equals alcohol.
Yeah, televised wedding at that. Oh. I think some things I wrote down that I thought were very humorous about this was, how it's like the priest or the pastor's like, repeat after me, I Joyce, and she's like, I Joyce. Well, I thought it was funny. It was like, repeat after me, I Uncle Elmer.
Yeah,
I Uncle not just Elmer. Not Uncle Elmer.
And then he's like, then he read him and like told him to read some other shit. He's like, I can't hear you. So Jesse was like, ha.
Oh my God. Jesse really laughed.
I know.
There was one point
Uncle Elmer, I don't think Uncle Elmer was I think
Uncle
Elmer just was like, I can't hear you.
I can't hear you. Because Jesse at one point, it's not even like the ha. He goes,
yeah,
I also thought one of Jesse's best lines, Vince says something to the effect of that it's very visible how much these two love each other. And Jesse goes, yes, Vince, they're both very visible.
And then she gets drilled with like a fucking, I don't know what the fuck they had Joyce with, but they drilled her, like some fan drilled her with something right in the face. I don't know if
Jesse, that also popped Jesse.
Piece of ice, yeah. I don't know if that was a piece of ice or what the fuck they hit her with, but they hit her right in the face with it. And then, like I talked about earlier, and I think it's so funny because, like, usually when something gets interrupted, it becomes like a big schmoz and like a bunch of crazy shit happens or whatever. But they're like, does anybody have any objections to why these two should not be married? Speak now or forever hold your peace. And then Piper shows up again. And he's like, I object to all of it. This is stupid. It shouldn't be happening. All of you should be ashamed of yourselves. This is not what I think wrestling should be. I don't like it. I hate it. And Hogan's like, get out of here, brother. And Piper's like, the whole thing stinks. And then he walks out. Okay, he just leaves. And then the pastor's like, do you, Uncle Elmer, take Joyce to be your lawfully wedded? Like, they just move on.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's like Piper just keeps injecting himself into this, but nothing physical comes out. I don't know. It's just fucking funny to me. And then they get hitched, and they make out, and Jesse Ventura says it looks like two catfish fighting over the same piece of corn,
Something like that.
something like that. Yeah, which is a drop in that they're going to be using for later. But yeah, the wedding is fun.
It is.
I know I know, like, whatever people want to say. And technically, like, I even wrote it down since you said, like, they called him Uncle Elmer. Like, I wrote that down. It's like, so I've been, like, in my notes, I'm just like, Uncle Elmer and Joyce Elmer. Like, I forgot I wrote that down. I was like, oh yeah, Joyce Elmer. But yeah, I just love, like I said, I just love the fact that Piper shows up, bitches about it for like 3 minutes, and then leaves each time, and just nothing comes. Like, it doesn't put an end to it or anything like that.
Yeah, the wedding's fun stuff.
Yes.
The next match on the show is King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd against Andre the Giant and Tony Atlas. Crazy Loon.
Make a poop.
But I want to make mention of something here, because I don't know when the last time I watched this Saturday night's main event was, and I don't know how much I was paying attention to this match the last time I watched it. But this match involves, honestly, one of the most athletically impressive things I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Just Tony Atlas in general.
Tony Atlas leapfrogging Big John Studd. Leapfrogging Big John Studd. I was like, God damn. That is is so impressive. Like, Jesus Christ. And Big John Studd, he might have been, I don't know, he might have been ducked down 2 inches, but he was not hardly ducked down at all. And Tony Atlas fucking leapfrogged that big motherfucker. That was impressive.
Tony Atlas was fucking insane. Like, yeah, he looked like a fucking $1 million, but he could fucking move. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, he could do his shit. And like, if that dude like could have kept his head on straight, I think it would have been. I think it's insane that he's not as big of a star as he was.
I agree.
In my opinion. Like, it's crazy. I know at the time he wasn't the right, I hate to say it, but he wasn't the right complexion at that time. You know what I mean? But and I'm saying that, I'm not saying that's right, but it's the way it was.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, just keeping his head on straight, not getting into trouble, and just I just saying, I don't know why Tony Atlas didn't become the fucking second biggest dude in the fucking world. You know what I mean?
I agree. But yeah,
Tony does most of the work.
He does, and it's like I said, it's Atlas and Andre against Studd and Bundy, and Atlas winds up getting schmozzed outside the ring. So Bundy and Studd are double teaming Andre the Giant for a disqualification, and the
Hulk Hogan comes out again.
Yes, and cuts another fucking promo after this.
Yes. It's even in my notes. Mean Gene Okerlund interviews Hulk Hogan again. Like, Tony Atlas did all this work and got didn't even fucking matter after it was done.
NBC in 1985. NBC in 1985 though was probably like Saudi Arabia now. They're probably like, we want as much Hogan, like Saudi Arabia gets to request what they want.
Yeah.
NBC was
they
probably
don't even know who they went. They fucking requested people that were dead.
Yeah, Yokozuna. They wanted Yokozuna.
But Yokozuna dead. Oh, yeah. Hogan's all over. Like, he's sitting all over. Then he get one of my favorites. I don't know why it is, but it's one of my favorite hokey little vignette things. Is George the Animal Steel at the fucking Detroit Zoo. I don't know why it's so funny to me.
It's another one of those things that was like, for a while there, it was like on every other episode of Primetime. It's on all the Coliseum videos. It's one of those things that you remember. You remember George just looking back at the camera and it making that elephant noise.
Yeah. Bye, George. Bye.
It's fucking weird, but it's funny.
It's weird, but it's funny. Yeah, like you said, it's weird, but it's funny.
Detroit Lions.
Yeah, it's fun
But
stuff.
we also got a glimpse of what we mentioned last time when Captain Lou was trying to settle him down last time. We mentioned that How Now Brown Cow was coming up soon.
Yes.
And then Mean Gene interviews the WWF Tag Team Champions, Beefcake and Valentine, the Dream Team, and their manager, Johnny Valiant. They discuss their recent win over, Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda.
Doesn't even mention that his brother died.
Oh, Valiant.
Yeah. He's like, let's talk about how your brother died. Like Uncle Elmer laid on top of him, and that guy didn't even move after. Like, I know he did, but I'm just saying, like, why didn't he? Gene Okerlund should be like, your brother sucked today, man.
Set a record, not a good one.
Yeah.
I know that you are not a Brutus Beefcake fan, but
Not at all.
I have to.
This is the only I can say. This is the only time that I even am tolerable of British Beefcake.
Because I was about to say I have to make mention because they aren't in a lot of things that we review or talk about. We don't talk about them a lot. I think the Dream Team is kind of an underrated tag team. I like the Dream. So
it's the only time that British Beefcake was ever tolerable in his entire career was when he was with Luscious Johnny V and Greg Valentine.
What do that?
Because they could just mask all his shittiness by being with, like, you know, one of the best wrestlers on the fucking planet at that time, you know, and one of the best fucking talkers on the planet.
That's why I love him, I love him, and I know it's because they're friends. He wasn't being mean. They really are friends, but I love him. Valentine's Hall of Fame speech where he's like, I really tried with Beefcake. It really did.
Yeah. He's like, I teamed with Beefcake. I tried to teach him to wrestle.
I tried. I really tried. I mean, I know he was ribbing his buddy when he said that, but the rest of us are like, we know, man. We know. But the Dream
and
Team.
Like I said, I don't think Beefcake, like, I don't want to say it. I don't like Brutus Beefcake as a professional wrestler. I think he's a terrible promo. Like, I really do feel that this guy got everything he got because of who he was best friends with, you know? And I'm not at all hating on the fact that the dude made money. You know what I mean? Like, if I happen to fall into the fact that my best friend is the biggest wrestler in the world and he's like, hey, brother, I can get you a big money deal. Okay, get me paid. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I'm pretty sure probably in real life, Brutus Beefcake's probably a pretty nice, cool dude. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But just as a professional wrestler, he is like one of my least favorite professional wrestlers. If not, maybe right at the top of the list. There's a few that are worse, but he's very up there. Anyway.
The match here is the Dream Team versus Lanny Poffo and Tony Garea. I know, right?
Yeah.
Together, they're a porn star. One's got a big dick and one's got big hair.
Yeah. Would it be Tony Poffo or Lenny Garea?
Lanny Garea.
Lanny Garea.
Tony Poffo is also funny, though. I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up.
Tony Poffo. Tony Poffo sounds like somebody you can't trust. But Lanny Guerrero. Lanny Garea. Yeah, I don't know which one it would be. Yeah, I think it's Tony Poffo to me.
Anyway.
Like Tony Poffo is like, he's on a list of some sort.
So he's also got Garea's hair and Lanny's mustache.
Yeah. Tony Poffo. He runs
the Dream
the press
Team
at the G plant.
The Dream Team wins this match when
That's a
Tony-
deep cut that nobody else is getting. Nate and I get that.
Tony Gurria submits to the figure 4 from Greg Valentine. So the tag team champions have their victory here. This was fine. It was fine to, put the tag champs on the show.
Was what it was.
Yes.
We forgot to mention that the U.S. Express is watching from the crowd.
Oh yeah.
So they're still trying to push that feud.
They are not long for the WWF at this point, though.
No.
They
were boring.
They were about to be appropriately replaced by the British Bulldogs in this situation.
It was because of Barry. Barry left.
Barry is one of those guys, man. Barry's one of those guys in history that just I think that's why he never got the big push. Because he's one of those guys who would just leave. I'm done. I'm out.
Like I don't know if you remember, but a long time ago, I put on our Facebook page that I didn't think Ricky Steamboat was as big of a star as he was because he didn't stay anywhere for a long time. He never had a sustained run. Somebody was like, well, Ricky Steamboat was in Mid-Atlantic Wrestling from 1979 to... It's I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the boom time of professional wrestling.
Right.
He never stayed in either promotion for more than 2 years.
Nope.
And then he'd just be gone and not be in either one. And Barry was the same fucking way. If Barry would have just stayed somewhere and did the work, and I'm not saying he didn't work, but you get what I'm saying? Just fucking stay somewhere.
Oh, that's why I know, and I know sometimes people. Anyway, I'll just say this shortly. As far as Steamboat goes, that's why I get pissed. I get pissed when people use, because we talk about all the time how we think it's sour grapes, as Ted Arcidi would say, sour grapes. With a lot of people with their criticisms of Vince and some of the things Vince did and blah blah blah, they were better when they weren't in the WWF. That kind of shit. That's one of the things where that's one of the places where I will defend Vince every day. I'll die on the hill every day about Steamboat. I know in fucking NWA, he was allowed to do an hour Broadways with Ric Flair and all that fucking rigmarole. But Vince McMahon, if you just watch every time he had Ricky Steamboat, yes, he lost to the Honky Tonk Man but that's because he wanted to go home and fucking be with his wife and his baby. But Vince pushed him like a fucking star. Vince always treated him like a star. He never treated him like a second-class citizen. Vince McMahon's brain, no matter whether somebody else wants to think it or not, in Vince McMahon's brain, putting him in that dragon outfit and having him breathe fire was a way to get him over. It wasn't fucking shitting on him.
And you know what pissed?
He always and Ricky Steamboat. Ricky Steamboat was the reason Ricky Steamboat was not sustained in the WWF.
Yeah, and the breathing fire in the outfit shit. It's like
you just said a little bit ago about action figures. It's a fucking action figure.
Yeah,
and it's one of the coolest. And lo and behold, it's one of the coolest Hasbros.
Yeah, and okay, people may oh, I can't believe the WWF did that to him. Okay, well, when he left, when he first came back to WCW, guess what he had on?
That big head.
The fucking outfit.
Yeah.
And then guess what he continued to keep doing? Glowing fire.
Yeah.
So I guess it wasn't so stupid. Yeah. And he led to that. Obviously he didn't wear the outfit the entire time, but guess what? If he would have, if Ricky the Dragon Steamboat would have stuck around in 91, I can guarantee by early 92, mid 92, he wouldn't have been wearing the fucking outfit in.
No, and he'd have been wrestling Ric Flair.
Yes.
So there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's one where like there's times where I can say, yeah, Vince, I can see whatever. Like even Ric Flair, like Vince didn't do Ric Flair the way he should have done Ric Flair. Let's be honest.
He
But
fucked Vader up.
yeah, but
Yeah.
when it comes
He
to
fucked.
Steamboat,
I'm
I
not a
won't.
Goldberg fan. He fucked Goldberg up.
Yeah, but when it
You know
comes
what
to
I mean?
Steamboat, I won't hear it with Steamboat. Vince always presented Ricky Steamboat as a fucking star.
Yeah.
Always.
It
Anyway.
took him. It took him fucking years to figure it out, but he fucked Paul White up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he had a fucking hard on for Paul White and wanted him like nobody's business. And then when he got him, he fucked him up for like what 4 years?
Yeah.
Till he figured it out.
But the biggest problem, I think we're getting in the weeds, but I think the biggest problem, that's all right. I think the biggest problem with the Big Show, honestly, as good as he was, unfortunately, he came along at a time where we were about to get into a time where everybody's overexposed. There's no longer like squash matches. There's no longer TV shows where you don't see a guy on TV for weeks. So somebody like him that is an anomaly like him, that in the territory days like Andre or Joe LeDuc or whoever, or Don Leo Jonathan would have been a fucking attraction. Unfortunately, now he's on TV every single week. Does what I say make sense?
Yeah, my thing is though he had like one of the greatest debuts of all time, and then it just fit. Like they should have smashed him over. Like he should have did that.
Yeah. Oh
and
no.
Paul White should have been the fucking world champion by the next pay.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion. And then you could have not even like because it would have hurt Steve to not have the belt for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But anyway, just like you said, we're getting into the weeds.
The only thing left is the wedding reception.
Yeah.
And
one of my favorite things is right at the start, they come to the fucking reception and Vince McMahon, Jesse Ventura, Paul Orndorff, and Hulk Hogan are at the same table.
Yes.
And Hogan and McMahon and Orndorff are trying to like talk great about the wedding. And Ventura, like he said, he's like Piper. He's just like, this is so stupid. I don't even know why. Like he's just bitching. Why they're trying like
moaning,
Vince and Hogan are like talking like to the camera about the wedding, and Hogan's like, it's a great deal, man. I can't believe. And Ventura's just in the background, like, this is so stupid. I can't believe why this is fucking happening. And he's like bitching the entire time, and Orndorff's like, shut up, dude. Like he's looking at him like, shut. Yeah, I just love the fact that Ventura's just bitching at the table.
Lou Albano is eating with him and Cousin Junior at a table together, and Albano's explaining like life to him or something.
Yes.
Albano is a national fucking treasure. I love Albano. I love the fact that like in the 70s and early 80s, whenever he had a tag team, I love the fact that he would just mimic whatever his tag team was.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit.
I love his outlandishness. Like he doesn't give a fuck. He's just I love the like. There's little things that he does, like in the early days of TNT or like in the early days of the expansion, just to get under Vince's skin. Whenever he's on fucking TNT, he does not say WWF. He does not say World Wrestling Federation. He says the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. He just always like he just fucking nagging at the kid. You know what I mean? The Worldwide Wrestling Federation. Anything he could do to get fired, but not get fired. I don't know. I over the years I have gotten like I'm very entertained by Captain Lou Albano.
Yeah, and he knew funny when it was funny, and he was like, I don't want to say it. He was he might be the first guy on television or whatever that I think understood the assignment of what Vince McMahon wanted to do. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I get what this is.
Yeah. Other than probably Hogan and Piper. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but even more so than like, because he was Albano, I think, is like the first like I think he's the first guy to understand like this is what sports entertainment is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like him and Blassie and like uh, I just think those guys were the like, and like you said, he was fucking funny
Mm-hmm.
and he just got it and was a fucking ball of energy.
And it's just like we were talking about earlier. Like, Heenan, obviously the funniest. Ventura had the mean funny that was really funny, and Albano's like that Gonzo funny. You know what I mean? Like, just
Yeah,
I don't know what this is, but I'm laughing at it.
I fucking like it. What's it? Fucking Rashawn's wedding, and they try to interview him. He's like, "Bruh."
Yeah, he just keeps walking around belching in the microphone.
Yeah,
and he's belching
like,
into he's belching into a microphone held by Lord Alfred Hayes, which makes it even better.
yeah.
Because then Alfred Hayes can make the stinky face at him.
Yeah, he was the humor that Vince McMahon really had, if that makes sense.
Fat jokes.
Like Vince had the
jokes.
the fat jokes, fart jokes, just all that different. Yeah, he was. I love when Bobby's like, I could have went to the WWF, but they had Fred Blassie, who was doing a fantastic job. They had the Grand Wizard that was doing a fantastic job. They had Lou Albano, who refused to be fired.
But yes, as the reception rolls on here, Lanny Poffo, the poet laureate of the World Wrestling Federation, reads a poem. Hillbilly Jim gives a toast. The last guy to get married on television in a zany wedding, Tiny Tim, is on the show. He's here.
Yes. Have you ever seen Tiny Tim sing "Staying Alive" in Australia?
I love Tiny Tim.
But have you ever seen him sing "Staying Alive"?
Absolutely, I have.
With all those people in those outfits and shit.
Yes.
The first time I saw it, I was like, "This is insane." And as I'm watching it, I'm like, "This is why the aliens haven't,
This is Tiny Tim."
They showed up and they were like, "Oh no, we don't need to talk to these people."
I don't care what anybody thinks. They can go piss up a rope, as Jim Cornette would say. Tiny Tim is one of my favorite things of all time. And you know what's funny?
Fucking funny, man.
And
it's surreal comedy. People just don't understand it.
They don't. And you know what's funny? You know how Aaron knows, but my wife tolerates a lot of my shit. A lot of my likes, a lot of my my geeky shit, like my sci-fi shit and everything. She'll just sit there and watch. If it's not something she's interested in, she likes Star Wars. But I'm saying if I'm watching one of my things, she's not interested in like pro wrestling or surreal comedy or whatever. She'll just sit there and do her thing. But man, some Tiny Tim shit, she'll be like, "This is fucking annoying." I don't know. It's funny to me, but yeah, I love Tiny Tim.
It's surreal, off the wall shit. It's fun stuff.
Jesse Ventura reads a shitty poem. Not shitty poem, but being a shitty human being poem at these people's wedding reception. He doesn't like the idea of wrestling and romance. He calls them hicks. And much like has to happen,
he winds up in a cake.
He winds up in a cake. Because that's another Vince McMahon.
Oh, that's a wrestling thing. The wedding's always going to end up bad.
Yeah, but Vince loves the somebody to wind up in a cake. But so does Cornette, for that matter.
Yeah.
So that's something Vince and Jim Cornette agree on. Somebody should wind up in a cake.
Yeah, but when I told you when I sent you that clip of Rico when Godfather interrupted Chuck and Billy's wedding.
Okay, buddy.
And he was like, listen here, buddy. Yeah. It's funny because I was that's the other thing that's on Peacock, just so you know, is the entire run of SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you want to watch all the old SmackDowns, they're on there. Even the pilot episode. But Rico really, obviously Rico was setting up Chuck and Billy. That was the storyline of it or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's funny because he wants Stephanie there, and obviously going into it, you don't know because he wants her there. So Eric and 3 Minute Warning can beat her up. But it's funny because he's like, "Come on, Steph, I really want you at this wedding," and she's like, "Look, Rico, I support Chuck and Billy and their same-sex marriage, and all the LGBT community or whatever, you know." She goes, "But I've been to a few weddings and they've never worked out for me, so I don't think I'm gonna go." Like she's like, "No,
Yeah,
like
not
that's not
for it's not for
happening.
me, man.
Not for me." She ends up going, obviously, but yeah, she's like, "I've been to a few weddings. They don't usually work out for me." I just thought it was fun. But anyway, yeah, weddings and wrestling never go well, and um, this one at least, the heel wound up in the cake. So
And then at the end, Vince and Hulk Hogan discussed the fact that on the next Saturday night's main event, which at this time in 1985 was probably, I was 6 or 7 years old, so I wouldn't have known about the business. But when you're talking about the business, for you to be able to say that next month or whenever, I think it's next month, on Saturday night's main event, we're going to have Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant versus King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd. I bet you're going to get some fucking viewers for that show.
yes,
That's a big match coming up on the next Saturday night's main event.
yes, and it is the Halloween edition of Saturday night's main event.
Iron Sheik dressed up as Superman.
Yes, and Roddy
Bobbing
Piper.
for apples.
Yeah, Roddy Piper giving out his candy apples and all that. It's all
It's going to be
coming
so
out.
much fun.
Yes.
All right, folks. Well, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. I really enjoyed this Saturday night's main event, by the way, other than the fact that, like I said, it was kind of a running joke, but I was writing down here, oh, there's another Hogan promo. There's another Hogan promo. Hulk Hogan was all over the show.
He was everywhere.
He was also the biggest fucking star in pro wrestling at the time, and NBC probably wanted him all over the show. So Vince gave them what they wanted, and I'm sure the fans went home happy. But other than that, I don't really have anything else on the show. Do you have any parting words for our listeners?
Just thanks for listening, and like I said, looking at least on the YouTube views and everything like that, I've seen that series shows that we do seem to get a little more listening. So hopefully, or a little more views, whatever you want to call it. So hopefully we get that traction with this. And like I always said, if you do like the show, rate, review it, share it, do whatever you got to do. Thumbs it up, all that stuff.
Absolutely. We appreciate your support. We appreciate your listenership. And until next week, when we cover the third Saturday night's main event, we'll see you next week. Have a great week, everybody.